Welcome back. Of late, the country has experienced erratic weather patterns. Upon the first rains, some farmers planted the maize crop, which has been scorched due to a prolonged dry spell. Farmers are now confused as to when they can plant their crops, immediately after the first rains or later. On Christmas Day, Emmanuel Tuala traveled to one of the villages in Cheu, which, like other parts of the country, the rains have ceased just after the crops have germinated. In this special report, he looks at how the farmers are struggling to time the planting.
Indeed, the question of when to plant is becoming too complicated for many farmers in the wake of continued effects of extreme weather patterns. Many farmers have successfully answered the question of what to plant because of the research and experience they have identified the type of crop suitable for the soils found in their areas. In Chipindu village, under Group Village Headman Ganya 3 in Ncheu district, 10 years ago in 2014, Mr. Kanyemba, now late, was uprooting his maize which had been scorched with intensive heat wave. At that time, he indicated, rains had not come for almost 4 weeks and the only sensible thing was to uproot and replant.
We are much disappointed. In fact, we had confidence that our early planting would benefit to our yield. Unfortunately, we have lost everything and the seeds have dried.
Now, 10 years down the line, the situation is even getting critical. Many farmers who had thought the area had received enough rains to plant their maize crop are now stranded, and discussions during the festive season have always been on their expectation to get a drop of rainwater to inject some life into what are scorched young maize plants in their area. Mr. Faison Ngozo, on this particular Christmas Day, had just finished taking his lunch with his family. A discussion around the meal was when will the next meal come from if the area doesn't receive any rainfall in the next few days. My Joyce Lindaire, 2 weeks ago, planted her 8-hectare maize field with maize seed bought at a agro-dealer. All over her 8-hectare land is bare, no sign of life from the maize seeds she had put into the soil. She is getting hopeless, if at all, any life from the seed in terms of maize plant will germinate, or it will be intermittent germination.
Can you see this? It started germinating, but because of lack of rains, it shrinked and then it died. So this cannot germinate as it is. It cannot.
On whether she knew when to plant, a question many farmers are grappling with. She said experience to plant maize this time around is what majorly influenced her, hoping the rains would come in a few days after planting. Professor Chiotha Sosten, one of the climate change experts, 10 years ago in 2014, told me these are realities of extreme weather patterns, and 10 years down the line, the explanation is not different, but the effects are now getting extreme.
And then you can see that the maize is now scorched, and also I think damaged by livestock, because I think it stood out as the only green place in this area. So these are the challenges that farmers have. I think integrating indigenous knowledge as well as scientific knowledge, it makes decision making very difficult, and sometimes they take risks that give this kind of result.
This scenario of scorching heat wave is in almost parts of the country, and the effects are having devastating results on the crops. It is, however, relieving that many farmers are following with keen interest weather alerts from the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services, unlike in the past. Emmanuel Tuwala, MBC News, Ncheo.